Yes, hello. I'm Nigel Powell. I'm the business systems manager from a company called Integral Powertrain. Just briefly, I've had a few years' experience in PLM in various companies. Cosworth Racing you may have heard of, Rolls-Royce you probably have, and now Integral Powertrain. Andrew.
Great stuff. So I'm Andrew Early. I'm the technical director at TECHNIA in the UK, and we share a heritage in so much as my journey has seen me also at Cosworth, but also I was at Integral Powertrain in the early days. So I've got a little bit of a skin in the game, if you like, in the past with regards to this. But we're going to hopefully give you an introduction to what an exciting customer Integral Powertrain are and what they plan to do with PLM in the coming years and what they're already doing. So I'll just give a bit of an introduction. Based on the shared heritage, there has been a long relationship between our two companies in various guises. And the way we work is very similar. It's almost like family, which is a nice starting point. But since we've been part of TECHNIA in the UK, the management team saw an opportunity to form a more formal relationship so that Integral Powertrain might benefit from the TECHNIA software in its various forms, and so TECHNIA might be able to benefit from working with a company that leads in its field, is young and dynamic, and represents a lot of our customers in the smaller mid-market sector. So the intention is very much that it's a symbiotic relationship, but also that from the TECHNIA point of view, we can develop our products to make them more suitable for more customers, I think, in a nutshell. Yep. So that's not us. They're supposed to represent Thor's, the Nordic TECHNIA influence, and Doctor Strange. I don't know if Doctor Strange was the right choice, to be honest.
Well, it's okay.
But he's British nonetheless, the actor. So it's a partnership. But what we're hoping to do here is this is the first part of what I hope will be more than a one-film deal. We should be coming back next year to give you an update on where we've gone in this journey, and who knows, there might be a third movie if it all goes well. So I'll hand over to Nigel to give you a bit of background.
Okay, thank you. So the company was founded in 1998 by 4 directors who all met at Cosworth. Initially, the company was very much based around internal combustion powertrain engineering services. But even in the early days, it became quickly known for kind of class-leading methods, tools, processes around advanced computer-aided engineering, 3D CAD analysis, and so on. But as time went on, by 2010, the e-machine or electric motors business was emerging, and really, that was where they launched into their first full life cycle design and manufacture of an e-machine for a prestige hybrid production car, which ran through production until 2017. But today, that business has grown even more. It's a market that's rapidly progressing. And so now we're into the design and manufacture of very high power density e-machines and inverters for control of those. And so there's much growth in that high-end market. So,
I think it's worth just pointing out that in the early days it was petrol engines and cylinder heads, cylinder blocks, crankshafts, and all the tools that went around that there was a lot of work went into making smart tools to allow you to design engines more efficiently. And there were some very premium customers sought out that sort of knowledge-based engineering approach. But of course, in moving into this field, just from the outside, not many other people do this stuff. You can't just buy the test cell to test these things. If you're truly an innovator, you've got to not only develop the products, but the products to test the products. So that's the field that they've gone into, and also things like the inverters, the electrical side of things. Again, you can't just buy these things off the shelf at the level these guys are operating. So it's a case of developing yet more capability. So.
Thank you. Yes, so I think we will play next a short video that explains a little bit more about our products and the company.
We thought we could talk, but this says more in 3 minutes than we could. So.
The first electric motor capable of turning machinery was invented in 1832. Since then, large, heavy machines have operated power stations, trains, and industrial plants. But now, there is a revolution afoot. The modern electric machine is driven by software and silicon switches, and uses immensely powerful, rare earth magnets. Over the last 10 years, these key enablers have themselves taken enormous strides forward, and now motors are riding the wave. Control algorithms operating at up to 100,000 cycles per second are driving machines with unparalleled efficiency, power density, and controllability. Thanks to these rapidly evolving machines, the sustainable world of the future will benefit from dynamic, previously unattainable products. At Integral eDrive, we are at the heart of that future, pioneering technology that transforms. Led by engineers with the passion to excel, we have a track record of meeting the most demanding requirements from aerospace to off-highway, from passenger cars to the highest echelons of motorsport. Our goal is to give you the eDrive that makes your product excel. Through R&D, we continuously evaluate new technology and we strive to improve. Amazing things are possible with eDrives. Imagine a motor weighing 5 kilograms that can run continuously at 130 kilowatts, the same power as a typical family saloon car. Imagine a motor capable of rotating more than 2,000 times every second. Imagine a motor designed for production in excess of 1 million pieces per year. Imagine a motor which can withstand 80 G of vibration and can even be submerged. Imagine an electric motor drive that can exchange electrical power for mechanical power with 98% efficiency in either direction, precisely controllable with the capability to react in less than a millisecond. This is not just fantasy. This is today's reality at Integral eDrive. With more than a 20-year track record of powertrain engineering, our ability to engineer motors into demanding applications is second to none. All of our electric drive systems are designed, validated, and manufactured to offer the best possible match to our clients' objectives. Supporting our clients with bespoke application activities according to their needs, we ensure optimal performance, however challenging the requirements. As the future approaches, Integral eDrive continues to evolve and embrace new technology to meet tomorrow's requirements. There is a revolution happening in motion. Be part of it. Integral eDrive, engineering the future.
Or engineering the now.
Indeed, yeah. So, not wanting to labour the point, but these things are pretty amazing. So there's a quick comparison here of one of our eDrives versus a conventional IC passenger car engine. Similar power, quite radically different in terms of RPM, revs per minute. You can hold an eDrive in your hand. You'd probably struggle with that internal combustion.
It's not, that particular one is, it's no bigger than this, honestly. And and it's the same power as your average family saloon. And it can go from 0 to full power in 1 millisecond, and then reverse in the same type of speed. Yeah. We've got another little video just to let you see what this means in action in a minute or two. Yeah,
we'll get to that shortly. So just a quick flash of some of our
the fun stuff.
Current projects. Yes, the shiny stuff. As you can see, we're working with Lotus and Aston Martin. another Aston, and the Volkswagen IDR, which was developed initially to take on Pikes Peak, so that's the next video. Just so you get a feel of what these things sound like. And
there it is, holy shit. Oh my god.
Stay back, please. Yeah, just wait.
Knock your fillings out. To knock your fillings out that speed.
that's right. Yeah. Yeah, so that car's taken the Pikes Peak record that previously stood for something like 13 years, I think. Mm-hmm. It's gone on to set electric records at Goodwood Hill Climb and Nürburgring. So quite an impressive bit of kit.
I think the comparison as well,
Sorry.
if you listen to the previous record, which was the Peugeot
Sebastian Loeb's
Sebastian
Peugeot,
Loeb,
yeah.
And you hear the traditional engine with the turbos and the wastegates, the noise, the comparison of the two is just, there is no comparison. That's almost silent. Most of the noise you could hear was the helicopter or the tyres, to be honest.
The spectators.
And the spectators, yes, sorry, there was a bit of language in there. I was just going to mention this one. No, this is your one, isn't it?
I can do this one.
Carry on.
So moving on to the PLM, our business is changing really. As I said earlier, we've grown from being an engineering services company, so involved in sort of analysis, design, prototyping, and validation, to now full life cycle. So that's driving the need for a fully featured PLM system now. And also, as the business is growing, we're investing, we're building a new premises to co-locate. We've got challenges at the moment. We've got 4 sites separated by a few miles in Milton Keynes, but that threatens decent collaboration. So bringing people together, combined with better tools and processes, we think should set us up for the future.
Yeah, I think I described it to someone I was talking to earlier. It's from the outside, again, it looks like you've had several years of, how can I say, fun. Really dynamic young company growing. It's a bit like people growing up, and we're now in the difficult teenage years where you can see full maturity, and yet you've got to get from here to here.
Yeah.
So the challenge here is to keep the innovation and agility that the customer, the company has in its DNA as you grow.
Yes.
Because there's all that competitive advantage you've got at the moment could so easily be lost.
Yeah.
So,
yeah.
And that's the challenge that we're trying to face together. So we're plotting a course to do that.
Yes, thank you. So here's the course. So we have a roadmap for PLM development. We've completed phase 1 now, earlier this year, where we've upgraded our 3D experience from 2015X to 2018X and installed the TECHNIA tools to set us up for the further phases. And so we're just embarking really on bringing in some of those core management processes in PLM. We want to quite rapidly, if possible, introduce project management and issue management, and then as a slightly longer term piece, change management.
Yeah, and so if I just give a little sort of not a history lesson, but because in my former life I was involved in some of this in the past, and so if this is like a looking back, the company was very CAD centric and embraced PDM when it became sensible to do so from their point of view. You might have seen in the videos there were lots of Excel spreadsheets visible, and as you can imagine, as a company grows and everybody has their own little area of interest, it's very easy for those little silos to develop. So this is a part of capturing the know-how and the keeping the company sustainable from a technical and knowledge point of view. But 2013, CATIA V6 was adopted with Innovia, but it was very much the CATIA side that was the focus. And with time, 15x 3D Experience platform, and now 18x. So early adopters of the 3D Experience platform, but a lot of value extracted out of that. Very much saw the opportunity. And in this case, we have this situation where the TECHNIA UK track record, a company called Intrinsys, was very CATIA focused, and of course now part of the wider TECHNIA family, which had its early specialism in the Innovia world. It's a match made in heaven, basically. So we're bringing that together. So over time, as Integral Powertrain grew, the need for connecting people became more evident, and you'll see around the 2013-14 area there was quite significant growth. So the case for extending from the design office, this is a very design-focused company, technology-led. All the directors would be sitting there with a calculator, a pencil. I don't think they do CAD, do they? No. But anyway, very technically led. But the challenge now is to expand across all of the other disciplines. Let's not forget, there's now software, ECAD, test, build, manufacturing, which we'll sort of talk about now. So if this is a very basic view of a medium-sized company in terms of disciplines, and let's not forget customers, the assessment at a relatively high level was done to understand what or how widely could the platform be used, because of course value is important to a smaller company, and it was a pretty clear answer, really. So if it's not blue, then there's benefit. So almost every department would benefit from accessing 3D data and the engineering information behind it. So if we take a step back and think, right, what does that look like in practice? Well, a simple thing in a first step might be to get people in the build shop viewing live 3D data instead of exported 3D data, and the same for bills of material and so forth in purchasing. So baby steps, that is in use. That is just a picture of, it's taken a few pieces out of there just for security, I think, but that is a motor in 18x as viewed by a non-CAD user. So this takes us on to the foundation where we are as a starting point, because we're not at square one, are we?
No.
No, we are in a good place already is the key thing here, and that's for two reasons. It's number one, because we bring, as TECHNIA, knowledge of Dassault's roadmap, and we have a very close relationship, so we've been able to say, you guys are working already with the CATIA data structure very heavily. That is the foundation for the future of this unified product structure approach. So you tiptoed into EBOM, hadn't you, a little bit?
Yeah, that's right.
And that was purely for exporting to ERP.
Yes.
So we took the choice to take that step back out of there and then get ourselves in the position ready to capitalize on all of the new things coming from the 3D Experience platform. So the unified product structure approach, and this is taken from a Dassault slide, albeit just adapted slightly. This does take give a picture of what we're planning to do. And of course, this then feeds back into the TECHNIA knowledge pool, if you like, for us to then help with other customers who might be doing the same thing. So we have the 3D Experience VPM, physical product structure, which then apply geometry to, or attach geometry to, and then enrich with the engineering information. And then the intention then is to rearrange that and supplement it with additional product data, such that we have an M-BOM, essentially. And then in turn, the M-BOM can be cut and diced for individual plants. And in other cases, you can export to other systems, whether it be MRP, ERP, or so forth. Now, Integral Powertrain, and I don't think any customers of ours at the moment have gone this full journey yet, but some are very close. But the position that Integral Powertrain are in at the minute is here. So that's not a bad place to be. So the thing that's changed is that the laser doesn't work. the ERP export, to avoid using the classic EBOM approach, we worked together to put together an export function to allow them to go directly from the CAD structure, which now Dassault have done something that does the same. So, okay, we can park that shortly, but that's allowed the company to move forwards. And it's a very rich BOM structure as well. It's got all of the manufacturing stages for every component. So a shaft that might be a raw material that's turned and ground and so forth. So very comprehensive process already. So just to finish off on my part, really, the design side of things is quite well understood, but as far as adopting the platform for the accompanying business processes, that's, I wouldn't say low-hanging fruit, because we did try change management, and hearing some of the previous speakers, I wish we'd come a few years ago, really.
Yes.
Because it's quite a comprehensive activity, even in a company of 170. But these are the things that are already in train at the moment, and we're just going to give you an overview of that and a little bit more on the roadmap. But I don't know if, just handing back to you for that, this, in essence, is the overview. And I don't know how, you've seen quite a lot here, and one of the reasons for being here is to learn more about the TECHNIA tools.
Yeah, indeed. This is my view of how I think our engineering key systems should fit together, should integrate. So as I said earlier, we're planning to make use of the TECHNIA tools, both for user interface workflow at the TVC kind of level, but also wanting to use the integration framework to join up 3D Experience and our ERP system, Sage. So yeah, I've been really enthused by the presentations I've seen over the last couple of days. There's customers talking very highly of the work they've managed to achieve with the TECHNIA products.
That's a relief.
And seeing the new functionality, the roadmap for the tools, has been given me confidence as well.
So just to be clear, this isn't future, this is now. We have, in terms of the foundation for this, the platform is in and being used by, I think we've got 40-something using CATIA. There's some Simulia in there.
Yep.
We got the 40-plus non-CAD users using the viewing tools and 3D dashboard mostly.
Yep, indeed.
The integration framework is on the test system, and all of the existing batch processes are being moved over to the integration framework as a prerequisite to moving forwards. And based on the discussion we've had with some of the TECHNIA folks today, I think the TVC stuff's going to be wheeled out very quickly. Yes,
I think so. Okay, we'll move on. So next few slides, I'm not going to talk through all the text here, but it's just going into a little bit more detail around those key management processes that I mentioned before. So for project management, I think the out-of-the-box Dassault product looks pretty good. Would give us a program-level view and quite a lot more functionality around project management and dashboarding than we have today. So we're quite keen to push on and get that deployed.
Well, just bringing the company together, especially
Yes.
yeah, with the new changes for the new site.
Yeah, we've got a growing number of projects, bigger challenges, multiple projects calling on common resources. Yeah, so, yep. Issue management is a similar story, really. They're trying to pull together various different disparate issue systems into one database. And then change management, the longer term piece. We have our own in-house developed engineering change system today, but moving over to...
Yeah, it's an interesting story there. I mean, we've worked together on a proof of concept, which is using the TVC workflow again. So it's on the development system, and there's stuff underway. So it's not as if we're, as I say, we're not at the starting point. We're already moving. But I think again, smaller companies invest almost invisible time and effort in making systems from tools they're familiar with. So Excel's a classic or whatever. And yeah. I don't know if you wanted to say the numbers, but it was a significant amount booked to the engineering change process in what looked like almost free company tools. So
yeah,
engineering
right.
time
yeah,
and development time.
You're, in essence, pulling skilled people away from their day jobs to develop systems, which really we want to move away from. So, yeah.
And that's it's easy if you're in a big company to take for granted these sort of systems, but smaller companies have to really fight for every penny to justify this sort of thing. And the more value you can get out of these systems, the better. And that's very much the intention of this project we're doing, is to understand from a friendly, all customers are friendly, of course, but known customer, their drivers, and be able to replay that in other customer cases.
Yep. So, as the slide says here, we want to use TVC to enhance the user experience, and the productivity around all of those processes. And as I said before, I think it looks like we should be able to make some great strides using the tools from what I've seen this last couple of days. And TIFF, both for batch job management and integration of systems. So.
I did have high hopes that when you came here you would see the likes of Stefan and Anders doing the TVC stuff coming out of their fingers, but what I didn't expect was to see TIFF coming out of somebody's fingers today. So I think you've been spoiled a little bit.
Yeah, indeed. Okay, so in conclusion then, it's quite simply our objective is to get that one version of the truth that PLM can provide, extract more value from our existing 3D experience platform with the TECHNIA tools, and hopefully come back and report on some great success next year.